It's been a long time coming, but finally it's down to this. Hey guys, Tom here. Welcome back to the Underground. Please come in and take a seat because this is a very special edition of the Underground. If you've been following us and you've been with us all along, and if you're not, I hope you consider doing so, we have had the classic cocktail clash where I picked out roughly, I think it was 32, probably 38 or so, 38 or 40 of the most classic cocktails that I could think of with good history, good tradition, good flavor. And I put them in brackets, matched them up, ran them against each other. You guys helped me out tremendously and voted for which ones you liked. And then we kept going down just like a normal sports tournament. And then it came down to the final four. You decided on the best two of those four. And today it's that matchup. So let's start off, we'll do a little bit of a recap. We had four brackets. We had five brackets. We had the creamy bracket with drinks like the White Russian, Pina Colada, milk punch, what else was it? Grasshopper, Brandy Alexandra, those type of things. And then we had the citrusy bracket, which were very lime and lemon forward drinks. We had daiquiris. Right off the top of my head, daiquiris, margaritas, that kind of thing, where you think of lime and good, crisp, refreshing citrus flavors. We also had the, creamy, citrus, fruity, which are like your tropical drinks. Sea Breeze, I think, was in fruity. I could get out the whole bracket, but it'll be up on the screen as we discuss this a little bit. And then finally the boozy, which are your, Manhattan, Martini. There was Stinger one. I think Stinger was one. They're basically just spirit-driven cocktails that are just something that you think of when you think of a good cocktail, like a 1950s and 60s business executive comes home, has a drink, that kind of cocktail. And then we also had, because there were so many that in the boozy bracket that I couldn't decide on. We actually had a drink-in bracket with ones that just didn't quite make it to that field of 8 in the, was it 8? Yeah, was there 16? I don't remember. It's been we've been doing this for such a while. Just now I'm curious. Yeah, each bracket was 8. Sorry. But there was 5 or 6 more that I just didn't make that 8, but I think they deserve to be in the competition. So we had a drink-in bracket, and the winner of that bracket went on to the main field in the boozy bracket. And the winner of that drink-in bracket actually fared pretty well in the overall field in the boozy bracket. But we matched them all up time to time and got down to the final 4 from each bracket. And if you don't remember, watch the previous Drink in the Clash and refresh yourself. But it was these 4, and they were, in no particular order, the Dark and Stormy, the Bahama Mama, the Milk Punch, and the Old Fashioned. Dark and Stormy was our citrus contender. Remember, Gosling Gold Seal rum, Gosling ginger beer, and a lot of nice crisp lime to really boost up that citrus. And then the Bahama Mama, a classic tropical drink. In my opinion, it is the tropical drink. If you're on a Caribbean vacation, a cruise ship, on an island somewhere, the Bahama Mama really does it for me. And there were many varieties of Bahama Mama we've made in the past, but the one we liked is the one that went through the bracket and made it all the way to be the winner of the fruity bracket. And then there was a milk punch, which was really a surprise out of the creamy bracket. There were so many great contenders. We had a White Russian, what? Geez, now I forget. We had White Russian, Pina Colada, Brandy Alexander, Grasshopper. They were, and the creamy bracket I think was the most interesting because the ones, I thought White Russian would be it. I really did. But surprisingly, it was Milk Punch versus the Grasshopper that made it to the final, and the Milk Punch prevailed out of that bracket to be the winner of the creamy side of the bracket there. And then finally the Old Fashioned, which for me is just the cocktail. And I think it's got the most, when I think of a classic cocktail, that's what I think of, the Old Fashioned. But in the few weeks it transpired, I left it out to you to tell me which two you thought deserved to be in the finals, to go against each other, to battle it out for the classic cocktail championship as decided right here by you at the Grantham Pub Underground. And as it turns out, there's a lot of votes here, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, people I talk to. And the winners, the two finalists going on in the championship round of the Classic Cocktail Clash right here at the Grantham Pub Underground were, out of the creamy bracket, I'm lying, out of the fruity bracket, the Bahama Mama, and unsurprisingly, out of the boozy bracket, the Old Fashioned. So I am going to make those two drinks for you today, and then I'll leave it up to you to decide which is the classic cocktail of all time as we decide right here at the Grantham Pub Underground. And the first one I'm going to make is the Old Fashioned, which is, to me, the quintessential cocktail. Now I'm actually going to start with the glass because I'm going to do something a little different. Usually it's garnished with like a twist of orange, but I'm going to do something a little different. So I'm going to make some orange zests, but I want to get that oil that comes out in the glass. So I'm just going to do it right over the glass. There's the ice. Oh, and I also have to apologize if you hear any humming in the background. That is because the cold weather has set in here in the Northeast finally, and we have our stove running. So that's what you might hear in the background. The refrigerator is what you hear in the foreground. So those go right there for the time being. I just cleaned the bar, so I'm going to use that. And I'm going to set these down here for the time being and move on to continue our drink. So for this drink, if you remember, now I think back in the day when I made my first ever cocktail show here on YouTube, I made an Old Fashioned. And I don't, during the course of the Clash, a lot of Old Fashions were made. We made a classic. I think we made a muddled. We may have made an apple during the Clash, but if not, we have had an apple here at the Underground. A maple Old Fashioned, which was fantastic. But one of the best and most classic recipes that I can remember, and I think that may have actually been in the original Underground episode, you take a sugar cube and you get a nice clean orange and you rub the sugar cube on the orange until the sugar cube is completely orange. It just, I guess the abrasion of the sugar or whatever just soaks up all that orange essential oil. But remember, if you're going to do that, make sure you're preferably use an organic orange, and you clean this orange real good. You don't want to just rub sugar and get all the chemicals. Clean it really, really well, or even if you use organic orange, be sure to still clean it because there's dirt from the store. So do that, and then put your sugar cube in the glass. We're not going to use a sugar cube. You could use a sugar cube. You could use just regular sugar with a little water, or you could be like us and use your simple syrup, which is what we're going to do. It calls for about a teaspoon of sugar, and this is really adjusted to your particular taste. So I just put about that much syrup in there. It might be half a teaspoon. And then it calls for some bitters. I am actually going to use 2 kinds of bitters because this is the championship, so why not? So a little Angostura, and then, like I said, you would, some old fashions, you rub the sugar cube on the orange to get the essence of the orange. So I'm gonna add a little, a drop, where it did not come out. There we go. Orange bitters, just to give that little extra oomph of orange. And then we need bourbon. And you could use bourbon, you could use rye. I'm going to use bourbon. And since this is the championship, I'm going to use one of my good bourbons, which I haven't even opened yet. They're just sitting on the back shelf. I think in the last time we used the Elijah Craig. So this time we'll use the Buffalo. And for this, it's going to be about 2 ounces. I mean, this is a very modest drink. It's boozy because that's really all there is just the booze. Set this back here on the bourbon shelf. And then I forgot to get out my ice. And it's really that simple of a drink. There's not a lot of ingredients, but it's just that type of drink that, to me, some people say the mark of a good bartender is a Manhattan or a martini. To me, this drink right here is the mark of a good bartender. If you can make a good old-fashioned. Sometimes some people like a little bit of the cherry juice in there. I'm not particularly that type of person, but if you like it, so be it. And then I need my glass, but I do need a cube. It's just going to have 1 single cube. I'll use my julep strainer. Remember, we have that orange essence in there from when we zested the orange over the glass. I'm going to add a cherry, a good cherry. You could use, usually we use our Howie cherries, but this is, like I said, this is a championship, so it's getting the good Luxardo, how do you pronounce this? Luxardo cherry. And then we need that orange zest, and I just happen to have the orange zest down here. So you could put a single zest in there. I just thought it would be cool for the championship, just kind of float some nice orange zest in there. And there you have it, gang. Celebrating the final in the Grantham Pub Underground quest for the perfect, classic, most popular, greatest, best, whatever you want to say, classic cocktail, the Old Fashioned. And then next, taking us to the fruity bracket is I don't know if I voted for this drink, because I'm a big Dark and Stormy fan. But I liked all of these drinks, so I was happy regardless. But you spoke, the Pirates of the Underground spoke, and we came up we decided that the Bahama Mama was the drink for this final matchup. And like I said, we've made a lot of them here at the Underground. We've made the Bacardi original recipe. We've made the Westman 2 recipe. We've made the classic recipe, which was weird because it had coffee liqueur in it. And there was another, we made the one from the Bahama, excuse me, we made the one from the classic Bahama cookbook, which had all those Bahamian island recipes in it. Excuse me, a little bit of heartburn. But this is the one that we decided we like the best. So that's the one we are going to use. It starts out with rum, just plain old rum, 1.5 ounces of rum. Again, this drink has been made multiple times here at the Underground, so fear not, friends. And then ours puts a wee touch of coconut rum in it. I'm going to put 1 ounce of coconut in it. And it also calls from some sort of vanilla liqueur. You just, that little bit of vanilla just gives it a little something something. I'm gonna put your face, I mean, we used the back in the day in the Bahamas, they had this stuff we talked about before called Nassau Royale. They don't make it anymore. And then we found this stuff, Port Royale. They don't make it anymore. So I just used some Liquor 43. Vanilla liquor, you could use that. You could use Tawaka. You could use, I mean, heck, if in a pinch, just throw a little vanilla syrup in there, or vanilla extract if you like. Then we need some juices. I got sticky stuff all over down here. Some pineapple juice. Some orange juice. I need a splash of grenadine. I hope I have some grenadine. That's our homemade grenadine. That's why it's not bright red like you're accustomed to. What else? And then just a dash of bitters. Get some ice. And then one last time, in the classic cocktail clash, to the band.
Shake it up, shake it up. 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 Shake it up, shake it up.
Just need, I think I need a little more. I'm going to use the old-fashioned bright red grenadine. Cue the band again. There, that's it. Band's done. And then how about a little garnishment? I think a cherry, any kind of fruit, tropical fruit would be good. I'm going to use a little pineapple, I think. A cherry. And even a wee bit of orange. certainly for this drink, which I should have gotten out already. What good is a tropical drink without your little I'm ill prepared as usual, sorry. Your little So we have our fruit garnish. Finally, a little straw, and then our other finalist in the classic cocktail clash, the Bahama Mama. So there you have it, guys. For one last time, two great cocktails battling it out for the championship of the Grantham Pub Underground Classic Cocktail Clash. Which one's gonna win? I don't know. Which one tastes better? I don't know. But we're gonna see right now which one I like the best. So without further ado, it's time for ready, drink. I'm gonna try this first. I don't know why. Cheers. Thanks for being with me this whole time here on the Clash and helping me figure this madness out. That's just a bang on winner, guys. Fruity, tropical. You can taste the rum, you can taste the fruit, you can almost taste the salt water in the islands when you drink a drink like that. And then the good old, no pun intended, old-fashioned. Cheers. That is just sophistication in a glass. Even if you're not a whiskey drinker, even if you're not a bourbon drinker, that it's not the little bit of sugar, the little bit of orange, the little bit of bitters just kind of tones down and rounds out that rich bourbon and whiskey flavor. It's going to be impossible to figure this out. So I desperately need your help. Vote. Let me know which one you think deserves the title of the Classic Cocktail Grand Champion. And that will be, henceforth, what we have decided is the best cocktail of all classic cocktails. So please vote down in the comments, vote on Instagram, vote anywhere. Tell me, call me, text me, message me, wherever you can find me. Let me know which one you think is the best, and that will be the winner. And if you are coming late to the party, what a party it has been. The Grantham Pub Underground has all things you need, fun, cocktail related, to hang out with your family and friends. So please, if it is your first time, why not subscribe? That way, the next time something great like the Classic Cocktail Clash comes on, you can be sure and check it out. Turn on the notifications. You'll be notified when the bar's open, so you can come hang out with us and have a good time. If you like this kind of stuff, help us out a lot. Like the video, share the video, tell your friends about the Grantham Pub Underground so that they can have a good time and you guys can come together, have a little Grantham watch party, and just be like you're sitting at one of these seats right here in front of me. And until that time when we meet together again, right here at the Grantham Pub Underground, I'll save a seat at the bar for you. Cheers. Cheers to the Clash.